right, you're back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. Tell you what I've been experimenting with the last few days, turning my fucking phone off. When I'm doing something, I have to turn my phone off now. I'm too fucking distracted. Even when it's off, I still go to it like 30 times. That's how fucking addicted to it I am. I like just picking it up and looking at it. I like just holding it in my hand and being distracted by it. But the last few days, I'm like, I just can't get anything done with this fucking phone on right next to me. I have to turn it off. So I started turning it off for a few hours a day. And I was thinking to myself, why even turn it off? Because as soon as you want to go look at it, you're going to turn it the fuck back on. But what happened is, I've got this phone cover and the plastic doesn't quite match up to my fucking off button on my phone. So it's kind of annoying to turn back on. And that is enough of a deterrence for me never to turn it back on. I've lived my whole life avoiding doing things that are slightly annoying. I've basically ruined my life sidestepping things that are just a little bit fucking annoying. For example, looking up my student debt. I put that off for 10 years and a couple of days ago, I looked at it and it's not fucking pretty. I had no fucking idea I'd racked up that much of a bill. I had never looked at it for fear that it was going to be half of what it actually is. Half of what it actually is made me not look at it for a decade, and it's double that. So that was an unpleasant surprise. I basically need to pay back a heart surgeon's education. A heart surgeon that took a few extra years. It's fucking way more than I thought it was going to be. It has been accruing interest for the last 12 years, which is fucked. It's much, much worse than I thought it was going to be. Much, much, much worse. I never calculated in all those years I stayed enrolled so I could get student allowance so I didn't have to work, and never attended or passed any of those classes. I think I did that for 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. Fully enrolled, paying full-time student, paying maximum fees, and not even turning up to class. I didn't give a fuck at the time. I was like, why would I even give a fuck about my student debt? So what happens in Australia is the government gives you money for your tuition fees, and you attend university, and you're meant to pass, and then you start paying it back once you earn over a certain threshold of money. I think it was like $54,000 a year, and they start taking like $100 a week out of your pay. And my genius plan was just to never earn more than $54,000 a year. That's how far into the future I was thinking when I was younger. I'm like, fuck it, give me that student allowance, rack me up a debt, and I just plan on never earning over $54,000 a year ever. So it's win, 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 Boyle, check fucking mate, until now. I'm not too sure what way to play it at the moment. I definitely don't want to pay it back out of my own money ever. I don't want to pay a cent back. So I need to come up with some plans never to pay it back. But I'm also not sure what the government's going to do. I know in the US, they never write off your student debt. So even if you go fucking bankrupt, you still have the student debt. I think it might be the same in Australia as well. What I don't want the government to do is what I heard they're doing in New Zealand is they take your passport until you finish paying off your student debt. But also, I don't want to pay it off and then 2 weeks later the government comes out and says, all right, because of COVID-19, we're clearing all student debts. If that happened, I would literally jump off a bridge. I'd get life insurance and I'd make it look like it wasn't a fucking suicide. I'll paint my hands and put 2 handprints on the back of a t-shirt and then wear it when I jump off the bridge so it looks like someone's pushed me. And Australian police are so fucking dumb, they'll just look at the handprints and go, he was pushed. Let's find a black guy to blame this on. So my first plan is just to get a big credit card, pay off my student loan, and then just never pay the credit card back. Fuck MasterCard, fuck Visa. I was running this by my financial advisor, my mate Jake, and he said look into bankruptcy law because I think if you're married, the debt actually becomes her responsibility as well. So I would have to fucking divorce my wife, which I'm happy to do for a little while. I think it's 7 years before it's cleared, We'll just have to be divorced for 7 years. We can still live as a family. Nothing will change. Well, obviously, I'd have to start hitting Tinder and start going out on fake dates and just showing my face in the single scene just in case a private investigator comes around and wants to prove if we're still married or not. I have a little bit of evidence to prove that I'm single. And then in 7 years, we'll just remarry and live happily ever after, you know? Like nothing ever happened. The second plan is to actively try not to earn over $54,000 a year, which is, let's be honest, it's really not going to be that hard for me to achieve that goal. But then it's still there. It's still hovering in my mind. Fucking midway through meditating, it pops into my head. Option 3 is to become a full citizen of India. I really don't want to pay this back. I'm never paying it back. This was another thing I was thinking when I was racking up this loan too. I was like, listen, I'm the kind of guy that's going to earn like maybe $25,000 to $30,000 for the rest of his life. Or I'll accidentally do something that makes me a lot of money and then the fucking debt won't even mean anything to me. Well, I can tell you this right now. There has been no fucking sign of the second scenario happening. Do you want to know how much it is? I don't really want to say it, but I'll say it. $40,000. Ooh, that was hard to say. $40,000. Oh, it's real hard to say. Which kind of doesn't sound like that much. But you got to remember, to even get a degree, I'll probably have to spend another $40,000. I think I have about half a semester of credits from 8 years of university. $40,000 of university debt. That's karma, baby. If you act like a fuckhead most of your life, there's going to be some consequences. And you just have to deal with them. And my consequence is a $40,000 fucking debt I'm never going to pay. I would really have to write some funny fucking jokes for that debt to ever be paid. Because it's definitely not getting paid on my own fucking physical labor. It's not getting paid through my blood, sweat, and tears. This is just another reason why I've been praying for the apocalypse the last fucking 20 years. I'm sorry I had to take out half the world's population with me, but I really don't want to pay my debt. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends about it. Add me on all the social media platforms because I'm going to be becoming a clown. Alright, see you the fuck later.